Hi guys, now that everybody's talking about Panasonic again, it's great. I finally get to make more Panasonic content, and I am excited, just like everybody else, about the new phase detect autofocus that they've put into their S5 II and the soon-to-be released S5iiX. But what's gotten me even more excited has something to do with this little guy. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to talk about that right now after the intro. Also, for my regular viewers, I am dressed up tonight because it's Friday night and my wife is dragging me out to a restaurant. I figure, you see, if I go to enough restaurants with her, then maybe she won't mind when I definitely buy all of these Panasonic cameras. And see, here are some Panasonic cameras right now. This one you're looking at is the GH5, and this one is the little G7. This was my first ever mirrorless camera, and I absolutely still love it. I often use it as a second angle when I am shooting something. Sometimes I like to put it on a little slider, stuff like that. Just fantastic camera. They have released two new versions of this, basically, the G85, then they released the G95. Now, the reason I didn't pick any of those up is because the autofocus was terrible, so other than that, they would have been great budget cameras. But if that phase detect autofocus trickles down into the micro four thirds line, which it definitely should, then the options for people who want a camera on a budget get so fantastic. Like, for instance, let's just say you even buy the S5 II or the S5iiX and you want a second angle, but you don't want to spend $1 million on it. You get the new version of the G95 that has phase detect autofocus. Get yourself one of those Sigma 16mm f1.4 primes, and then for maybe about $1,000, $1,100, you get a wonderful second angle with phase detect autofocus. You see what I'm saying? I'm excited. I think that this is great for Panasonic, but it's also great for the camera industry in general. As you know on this channel, if you've watched the channel before, and you should, look at this. I wear fancy shirts sometimes when my wife drags me to dinner, but I love value on this channel. This is the little ZV-E10, and this accompanies my A7 IV. This is my second angle for my A7 IV, or if I'm out vlogging. I also picked up the FX30 for when I do more pro work. I wanted a more pro video camera, but I didn't want to spend FX3 money, so I got the FX30. You see, I love the value, and Panasonic is bringing the value right back here. This GH5 is one of the best value cameras of all time. This is what Panasonic does. They push the innovation. They lagged on the autofocus, but they were always pushing innovation. Back when they released the GH4, that had fantastic 4K in it at the time. This was so long ago. At the time, some people were saying 1080. Are you shooting at 1080? What are you trying to be Spielberg? That's way overkill. Shooting 720p, you'll be fine. And Panasonic's like, oh yeah? Boom, 4K. What do you think about that? And look at the features they have packed in to the S5 and the S5 II now with that phase detect autofocus to have all of this. I'm so excited about the new version of the S1H and all of the other Panasonic full frame cameras. But once again, what I am most excited about is the idea of having these little micro four thirds cameras, which have their own niche, in my opinion, in the world. There's no need for the micro four thirds system to go away at all, especially now if they do that phase detect autofocus with these little guys. This is exciting times. Innovation's being pushed, companies are being pushed, prices are gonna go down. I'm loving it. I'm having a lot of fun. My wife is in the porch. She's hitting her wrist, waiting for it, but we're here to talk about cameras, not going to dinner. And how is the shirt with all these little things? How's the moire? Is there moire on the GH5 here? This is something to be considered when you're wearing shirts. Like, I used to do some TV every now and again, and you'd show up and you'd see the camera guy be like, don't wear that shirt, you idiot. And then you would have to go borrow your buddy's shirt. That happened to a friend of mine, actually. He borrowed my shirt. He's a stand-up comedian, and he went out, he was supposed to do a TV taping. He was wearing a shirt like this, and they were like, we can't show that. The camera we have, it'll be all blurry lines everywhere. And so I had to take the shirt off my back. I'm standing there in the green room shirtless. A treat for the eyes for those around me, to say the least. But that's all I wanted to say. Just wanted a Friday night video, just a quick rant about how excited I am. The Panasonic stuff, that got me into the whole photography, the whole videography thing, and there's something about it, the usability, just the convenience of these cameras, and to have all of those jam-packed specs at prices that are quite reasonable. Good times. We're having fun. All right, we'll talk to you again soon. Okay, bye-bye.